Alright, so today we're going to be doing a tier list for movies, anime movies.
What's up, boys? Time for our anime tier list movie edition.
Alright, so I actually haven't seen a lot of these movies, and yeah, let's go and get started.
Fake weeb.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm learning the shows, not the movies. Okay, let's see. We should get started with the first one I ever saw. Where is it? We'll start from the top after that, but I just want to pull up this because it's the OG. Here it is.
Aha!
What is this gotta be?
It's not a tier. This is Pokemon the movie
Yeah, I
Mewtwo
should
Strikes
see.
Back.
Yep. 1998.
Unless you can't read Japanese.
Yeah, I think this is the one most people had seen, just because it was so popular. I guess Americans, because it was so popular in
It's
America
it's
so
a
much.
good movie. It's like there's a lot of movies better than this one though.
I mean,
It's like a
s-
classic.
I mean, you cry right when Pikachu dies at the end.
I mean, I used to.
Yeah, so I remember watching this
I
when I was
watched it
really
recently.
little on Cartoon
Yeah, and I
Network.
did. I think it actually deserves to be in B tier for this list.
Okay,
I think it's
sounds
it's like a good middle
good.
mark, and there's a lot of movies that are worse than it, and a lot of movies that are better than it. I think
Yeah,
it's a good place to put it.
yeah, I'm really not, I don't have the bias to feel like, oh, but it was so good for its time. I'm like, well, I'm making this list for right now,
It's just good.
so.
This is
Yeah,
good, yeah.
so yeah, I really won't like give movies extra credit just because they were made a long time ago. Okay,
Cool.
so the OG, the Cartoon Network goes there. Okay, so this is like the newest one by, I don't know the
Hmm.
studio, the
I
Your
would
Name and
I
all
would
them.
do your names first, instead of Weathering with You, which is right, middle, bottom.
Yeah, Your Name. I love Your Name. I think it's an S tier movie.
Cool.
I
S
thought it was
tier.
super good. Yeah, it's probably one of my
It
favorite out of
is
all of them.
pretty good. I wouldn't. I don't think it's the best movie on this list,
Oh, I'd
but
put it in
it's
the S
really
tier,
good.
maybe like further back in the S tier, but I would definitely put it in the S tier.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that
So
movie's.
yeah, it's a really good movie. I probably would cry watching it again, depending. It depends on my mood.
I watched it like 2 days ago, and I was crying. It's so good,
Nice.
especially when they like read the hand. Oh, that part always gets me.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I know. Yeah, I watched it with Emma, and she's bawling. It's like her first time to ever see any anime
Oh,
movie.
really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
She's like, how do Japanese people write such good stories? That's what she said afterwards. She
Really?
she doesn't watch like any anime or anything.
Ah, she has excellent taste.
Yeah, it was really good.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
one
definitely
definitely
take a
not
spit.
as good. I don't know where you'd want to put it, but
Yeah, I
I
mean,
could not put
I
it
think it's a good movie. It's better than Pokemon. I liked it, but I would say A tier.
A. If it's gonna go
It's
top
a
of A, back of I'll put it A for now, but
A for now. We can move it around, but yeah, it's like it's
for
not as
me it was
good.
a
But I really
B.
like the story, and I really like the supporting cast. He has the kind of the adult man who takes him in. The girl, as in like his what does he call her? Not concubine, his mistress.
Yeah.
um, like I really like those characters a lot, and they really were like solid. The boy, he's kind of dumb, you know.
Yeah,
He's
I
kind of
agree.
dumb too, you know. They're just really immature and whatnot. But that's the point, I guess.
In
Um,
in my head, the production is like S tier, but the story is C tier. So that's why I think it
yeah,
belongs right here, because I just think the story wasn't that good actually. Like, wasn't really entertained about the story.
yeah, it
Kind of
made me
weird.
cry
The little.
whenever like um yeah, when they're in the hotel scene, that scene, yeah, I was bawling the first time I watched it.
Really? I was not. I don't think I
Yeah,
cried once during this
no,
movie.
it's not like in the hotel scene, but you know, like what happens at the end of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like crushed. I don't know. I think it. maybe it might be knocked down to B, but
We'll
for
put it there
now,
for now.
I think we can put it there. Yeah.
Okay. I have not seen this movie, so all you, buddy.
Promare. All right. Promare is I think it's an A1 plus Wit Studio production. I might be wrong there, but it's super flashy. It has a great soundtrack. Sawano, classic Sawano soundtrack that is just amazing and super good. Um, good old same composer as Attack on Titan and a lot of A like S tier shows. Great. Production's really cool. Story is trash. The story is trash. It's a really interesting concept, but it's like I would definitely put Pokemon above it. You know, it and like
So would you say it's a
it's
C tier
kind
just
of
for the story?
forgettable. I would say B tier. In my head, C tier is just bad, not worth the watch.
Do you think it's at
It's
least worth
worth
a watch?
watching, but it's just not as good as like a lot of other movies. Um, it was still a fun watch, you know. It just
Yeah.
goes ham on animation and fight scenes, so it's entertaining, but just didn't care for the story, you know.
Okay, that sounds like a
Yeah,
pretty middle of the pack show.
exactly. Like it has good stuff, but it's just it falls short from being actually good.
Okay. Let's go to 5 centimeters a second. So actually, I had this one playing in the background while I was like drying off longboards because we had to drive
Uh huh.
longboards like 2 in the morning one time because we got them all soaking wet. It rained. So I don't actually like what I remember was terrible, honestly. But I
I think
didn't
it's a C
really.
tier movie for sure.
Okay, I don't really remember that
I
much.
remember watching it for the first time and being like so enthralled. It was my first what's his name? Makoto Shinkai movie that I've ever seen. And it really drew me in, but it's because of the way he does like characters and emotions is really powerful. It's just such a boring movie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like looking up the whole time, and I was like, nothing would make me want to keep looking. I wanted to look back at
Yeah.
the longboard because it's more entertaining. This movie, it was like
Nice,
so
yeah.
boring.
I watched it when I was like, oh man, maybe like 16 or something. And
Jeez.
the whole like relationship that the two have and like the tragic love. Yeah, I guess at the time I was a sucker for that because really it made me really be like, oh, Makoto Shinkai, these movies are good. But
I mean, you're right
yeah,
about that.
those movies are good, but that's like one of the ones where it's like, it's his
Oh
early
yeah, it's
days.
so boring. That's all I remember.
All right, that's a good place for
Okay,
that.
I have not
Trash,
seen this one.
trash. This movie sucks. Oh my gosh, it was like a Netflix only anime. The
Classic.
girl turns into a cat, and the
Oh,
boy he
yeah, I
likes,
remember
she
seeing
likes cats.
commercials for that.
It's just a bad movie. There's not much else to say about it. I just did not like this movie one bit. I sat through the whole thing and regretted it.
Yep, sounds about like a lot of these movies on the list for me.
Yeah, they're all some of them pretty weak.
Okay, now
All
this
right,
movie was super good. Like, it's gonna be top of A, back of S. Just because I don't think it compares to some of the other
put an
movies.
S tier.
It's an S for
This
you?
movie changed a lot. This movie deserves to be an S because this movie set a standard for anime TV show movies to be insanely high. It set a high bar for anime TV movies that are like, actually important movies that are canon to the story. But it just has a great production, good story. I mean, it's not perfect, um, but
Would
I
you
think because it's not perfect, it's at the back of S,
Okay.
and
Is
it's
this,
only
do you
because of
know
like one of the villains.
if this is the highest grossing movie still?
This is the highest grossing anime movie
Ever, right?
still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's gotta be S for that alone.
I mean, some people could fact check us on that, but that's to my knowledge, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
it's a great movie.
yeah, I think the only problem was yeah the
First villain in the
yeah
movie.
yeah I don't like him that
Yeah,
much.
that's just where it falls off.
Okay, and now this movie, The Garden of Words,
Hmm.
trash. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I was gonna put it in C tier,
Yeah, okay.
but
I do think it just because of how like the good the animation is.
aesthetically pleasing is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just the animation alone, I'm just like, this is so fun to watch.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I was so invested into the end and then I was just like so upset with the
yeah,
ending.
the ending is very disappointing.
Yeah, 'cause it's like what is it? He's like 13 and he's like a 30-year-old teacher.
He's no, he's a high schooler, so he's like a later year high schooler. So I think he's like 16 or 17, but she's like old. He's like 28 or late 20s or something.
Yeah.
Weird dynamic.
So it's
Not,
she's just like a pedophile
you
at the
know,
end, and then it ends with
you
like,
know,
oh, she's a pedophile. Like what?
you know, I showed my mother this movie.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Did
I
she
did.
watch it? Did she like it?
She watched the whole thing. No, she didn't like it.
Because she was a pedophile?
She's like, I just don't like the romance between them two. I'm like, I get that.
Why did
I don't
you
know
show
why. I
her
just
this?
thought I wanted to show her a Makoto Shinkai movie, and this is before like Your Name was out or anything. Plus,
Oh
Your
my
Name has some
goodness.
scenes that are kind of rough too. Anywho, this is a long time ago. I think you're like in Chile or something.
Oh, dig. Okay,
But yeah, that I showed her that, and it was interesting.
that's funny. Okay, I actually watched this movie first time yesterday. I
Are
put
you serious?
I put the top of beat.
Oh no, man. I
I
mean,
it's so hyped, and then I was like, oh yeah, let's go. And then I watched it, and I was like, eh.
bro, no. You don't understand. This movie is incredible. Oh my gosh, you put it in B tier. You
Maybe
need to
for
put
its
it in A for Akira, dude.
time, it was incredible. But
No,
like,
no. That's why it's so incredible because even to this day, it looks amazing. The animation is incredible in this movie. Incredible. It still stands so strong. Every frame is animated. This movie is incredible.
you
There's
mean
like
hand
nothing
drawn?
like it. Even yes, everything's hand drawn and it looks amazing.
That's
Like
how this movie is. I think
which
this movie
one?
looks way
Yeah,
better.
well, that one's S tier. But I mean, the only reason I would put it S tier is because like everyone being like, oh, it's a classic, blah blah blah, nostalgia factor. But I'm saying without all that, it still deserves to be A tier. I just think it's an incredible movie. It sets such a freaking. It is. It's like changed movies. It's done so much for like the genre of dystopian, sci-fi, um, and I mean it is like strange, at points. But how many of these movies aren't like not strange a little bit
Hmm.
somewhere
So,
in here? They all have like a strangeness to them. But Akira definitely deserves to be an A tier, and I
an
feel like we
A
need to
tier?
move it uh behind that one.
It's just
Hey,
the only issue I have with it is there's this movie that like is kind of did the same thing, but way worse, and it
what
reminded me
movie?
of that movie. There's this movie, I don't even remember the name of the movie, it was so bad, but it's about friends that like get superpowers, and then one of them turns evil,
Oh no, I remember exactly.
and
Yeah.
it like try to copy this so hard, but it was like so
Oh, that
bad.
movie did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that mean you're literally saying that this movie did the whole superpower thing and it did it better anyways.
Yeah, but
So,
I just couldn't stop thinking about that movie the whole time. I was like,
it's so sad because
what?
I did not. I know what the movie you're talking about. I can't remember the name. It's like Chronicle or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, the psychic powered kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely rode on the back of this movie for sure. But this movie just even now, I don't care if it's old or I'm not gonna say to this day. I'm just gonna say it's just good. It's just epic in the the plot just becomes so much like more as it continues. It's a cool movie, and I think it deserves an A tier because everyone should watch this movie.
Uh,
Kind of like C.
I would lower it, but if you like it so much and you think it belongs like S, I think we mean A.
All right, all right.
Because I just think that the characters are like pretty shallow in this movie.
Hmm.
But character development wasn't really that big of a thing at that time, so kind of get
Yeah, it
why.
wasn't the main focal point. It's like the world itself
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
and how the characters react to the world. Okay,
No, the world they
Summer
developed is cool,
Wars.
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Summer Wars, never seen
Summer
it.
Wars is cannot remember these directors. Do you remember the director?
No,
I
I
know
haven't
you
seen this movie.
wouldn't. It's the same person who did Girl Who Let Through Time, and I'm pretty sure he also did Wolf Children that are also on this list. um, he's done a couple more. I'm just gonna look it up. Oh, uh, Mamoru Hosoda. Yeah, he does a lot of good movies, and he's even worked on Spirited Away, I think. Oh, and he's done The Boy and the Beast. So there's a lot of movies on here that he's done that are
Okay,
like considered like up there in anime movies. Yeah, all those together, they're all movies by him.
I've not
Um,
seen a single one of these.
since you haven't seen a single one, we're just gonna do like a fast track.
Okay,
Summer Wars. Uh, top of C. It's really good. I like the family values and whatnot in it. Um, just kind of strange. Girl Who Let Through Time. Back a B. Wolf Children. It was my favorite one. I think it's better than the Pokemon movie. I'd put it in B, top of B. Um, put it in A. Put it in A. I think it's just such a good. You've never seen it?
I've seen clips. So I've never seen the whole thing. No.
Okay, okay. The Beast and the Boy. I'm gonna put it just behind Pokemon on B tier. It's a good movie. It's just solid. Not many things I could say that are wrong with it, but it's not a lot of things I could say that are great about it. Wolf Children, you should watch. It's super wholesome.
Okay, this is the
Um,
one I gotta watch then.
and uh, I showed that one to mother as well, and she really liked it.
Oh, she like this one.
Yeah, she liked this one because it was more about the family. You know, the mom with her two kids who are wolf kids, but
like this one.
irrelevant. Kind of.
Okay, perfect. So this movie, I would have to say it's like in the back of the S.
S
Like
tier.
I think I'm not a big fan of the genre of like racing movies, but out of racing movies, it's probably like one of the best ones ever made. Like it's
Man,
super
the racing's
entertaining,
like
super captivating.
the racing's almost like not even important. It is. It's like the main thing, but it's the actual race itself isn't what makes this movie incredible.
Yeah,
I guess it kind of is, but it kind of isn't.
it's the kind of movie that like your eyes are locked on the screen the whole time. Like you don't look
Yes.
away at all. That's why I think it's like an S tier movie because it's like you're just entertained the whole time. Your eyes locked on the screen and you're like,
Enthralled.
yeah. So way better than this one.
You see that, but
Outshone. I
it's
thought it was really
incredible.
good.
Redline is excellent, excellent
Hmm.
movie in
Oh, also the dub voice acting
a
super
definitely
good.
S tier. Oh, I think I've seen it dubbed. I don't
Yeah.
remember if I've seen
They
it
sound
both,
like they
but
all sound like gangsters, so it makes it awesome.
yeah, reminds me of another show like that. I'll do this one since you've never seen this movie.
Yep, this movie came
Jujutsu
out
Kaisen
this
0.
week.
Man, I want to put it in S tier, but I'm just like so fresh on watching it
It's like bias,
that
you
I
think?
can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell if it's recency bias or not. But hell, I enjoy this movie a ton. Like there are parts where I'm like, is this movie gonna be good? I was like really worried because of how like it kind of started out,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, it started out perfectly. I was just like so worried that I wasn't gonna like the movie, and I loved the movie. Man, um, just because of recency bias, I think you should leave it at the top of A tier
Do you think?
because I'm just not
Because the only
sure.
thing you could compare it to would be if it was better than this Demon Slayer
Man, it
movie.
might be.
If it was better than
I
the Demon
just,
Slayer movie, then yeah, it would be an S. But if you're like, nah, Demon Slayer was actually better.
I mean, maybe because of. Okay, I mean, out of like a single thing about the show, like for example, in the Mugen Train, Rengoku himself makes that movie like an S tier. Um, but in Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the main character Yuta, he is just so likable. Like Rengoku is like so likable. He is such a good character, and he's what made the movie. Um, and I'm sure later down the road I might think of a couple flaws, but like minor things.
Yeah.
This movie is just so good, and it's definitely worth a watch. If you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, you just have to watch it. There's no option. You
Here's a
just need
super
to.
hot take. I actually like Jujutsu Kaisen more than Demon Slayer.
That's not actually that hot
Like
of a take,
the
really.
show, I
No,
like it
yeah,
better.
that's not. I wouldn't say that's much of a hot take, honestly. They're both like A tier shows, so you're saying like I like this A tier thing more than this other A tier thing,
Yeah, that's true. I guess
or S tier.
it's just the characters I feel like are way more relatable in this one. In this one, they're like
Yes, I
honor,
love the
respect,
characters.
like they're like old
I
school. Then this
yeah,
one's modern, so I just like it so
I
much more.
love the characters in Jujutsu Kaisen way more than Demon
Yeah,
Slayer. I like Demon Slayer because I really like the animation, the fights are incredible, and the Hashiras are like my favorite
yeah.
characters in the show.
This what it does
Hashiras
best
and Tanjiro.
is the power scaling. It's way good in this show. I mean, it
Uh
is
huh.
good in this show, but it's just like,
It's more obvious than Demon Slayer
yeah, you
how,
can see him
how it works super well.
you can see him actually like training, getting better, like
Both both really good shows, but man, I think I agree that I like Jujutsu Kaisen more.
Jeez, guess we gotta put
All
this one
right, yeah, let's do that.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, this movie is so nostalgic for me, and I think the fight scenes are so good.
Uh huh.
I watched this today.
Nice.
So I mean, I think it's like an S tier,
But you can't put it
uh,
there. Do you know why?
because of the story. So bad.
What happens in the Whoa. Like what's the story, Nick?
Well, the story is they're looking for alien juice. So if they drink the alien juice, they can turn to Sephiroth.
Yeah.
That's the whole story. And then they find it, they drink it, it turns to Sephiroth, and they have the last fight.
The story itself is like very it's just rough. It's just yeah, but and it's still I think it's an incredible movie. It's so fun to
So
watch.
I just rewatched it thinking like, oh, I better get like my biased out. And then I watched it like, oh no, this is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's still amazing. Definitely deserves like at least A tier, I think.
For
Like the
sure.
story doesn't make a lot of sense, but the story's like
I mean,
catalyst,
at the same
to
time,
move
it kind of
it
does make
from fight to
sense.
fight. I mean, it doesn't not make like no
You have
sense,
to know
but
so much about the game
the
before you
game
can
as
make
well,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it makes sense, but it's just like the reason why they did it that way just seems odd. But
Well,
it is Final Fantasy,
it's basically they
their
wanted
stories are always
animated
odd.
fights, and so they just did a random story to get to each fight.
Yes, and it
But it's
worked.
so good.
Cloud's great. And have you ever played the Final Fantasy VII remake games?
No.
You would like them for the same reason, and honestly, I think the last fight in the game feels better than in this movie. It's
Whoa.
incredible. Yeah,
Like cutscene?
yeah. The cutscene looks great. It's like amazing. Plus, part of it you're like playing and fighting, and it just feels amazing.
Dang. I don't know if I could play a single player game though. I could never play single player games.
Just watch it on YouTube then.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Watch a highlight reel or
I
something.
I getting suggestions now because I watched the movie today, so now I'm getting suggestions to watch like the the remake game. But the videos are like 13 hours long, or not 13 hours, but like super long, like four
The game
hours.
itself is very long for like the original game, and the remake is pretty long. I think it took me like 40 hours or something to
Oh
beat the whole
shit.
thing.
Yeah, they just put the cutscenes together and they put it on YouTube. And yeah, it's like 4 or 5 hours long.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, we'll move it around as we go along. Oh, this is so good. These three
Berserk
movies.
movies.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the OGs. It's so,
Dang.
I watched this last year and it's so good.
S tier though?
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
I haven't seen them.
Not even,
I,
not even debatable. This is S tier.
wow.
Yeah, this character is one of the best characters in all of anime.
Guts himself?
Yeah, Guts himself is
Guts.
so good.
Guts is a
Like,
good character.
such a deep dive into like uh depression, masculinity, like so many topics he's like
Oh
built
my
into this
gosh.
character. He's so good. So I do think this is like an S tier. Now I have to give a disclaimer. It's very, very vulgar. Like so much gore. Uh, the rape scene at the end.
Oof.
The
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's getting chopped into pieces. People are getting pulled apart. They get killed in like super gruesome ways. So, but the story is definitely so good. I was 100% captivated the whole time, and it
Yep.
and
I
it
believe it.
it just follows him. So,
I mean, it was written by Miura himself.
the movies are.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Oh,
He like I'm pretty like very certain that he like helped a lot on this movie because it's like so important for the Berserk story.
really? Like if
That's what's so
I
good.
looking at these movies, I'd put it here. It's like better than all of
Dang.
these movies. It's
No,
so
no
good.
way, no way, really?
Yeah, like how
The
good it
top?
is. It's definitely like the top of all
Man, you
these
should
movies.
probably put an SS tier then.
It's so good. No,
Does it
because
have its own category?
well, uh,
Is it a category above everything else?
no. I
Okay,
like some
okay.
other movies more, but I would put it here. As for these ones, it's so good. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
I know.
That's so weird.
I've only seen parts. How do you watch it?
I think I watch it on what's that website called? VRV, like Crunchyroll's website.
Oh, Verve.
Yeah,
Man,
I just watch
yeah,
it on
I
Verve.
should check that. I should check it out.
Yeah, it's so good. I feel
I'm
like I hyped
currently
it up so much
watching.
now, you're gonna like judge it so much, but it's so
Oh
good.
no 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 no!
It's
I've seen
very
parts and I definitely see why you think it's good. I saw parts of the first movie. Um, currently watching Ranking of Kings, which is really good. So might check it
I
out
feel like the
after.
guy who wrote Game of Thrones, which obviously people consider like one of the best TV shows ever, read this before he wrote Game of Thrones because it's like super similar.
Oh my gosh,
But this one
sounds
just
great.
follows one character. The Game of Thrones follows a lot. But yeah. Okay, let's go on. Oh, Studio Ghibli. Should we save all the Studio Ghibli for the end?
Sure, there's a lot of them.
Okay. All right. This is my favorite of all
Oh
of those.
dang, it's going all the way up.
No, this is my favorite one of all. I just think it captivates like emotions so well.
Uh huh. It's very very good. Uh, and I think in your eyes it's perfect. And I
No,
think
I think from that time where like like they spend summer together. I think that part's so boring. I like skip it every time. So it's
I
definitely not
don't know what
perfect.
you're talking about.
So like he like yells at all the friends and they run away, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just
Oh, at
the
like the
three of them hanging out
car,
all summer and
the
it's like a montage.
yeah, they're at the like the fair or something.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then does a montage and they spend the whole summer together. But the montage is like ridiculously long and it's so weird and it It doesn't add to the
Huh.
story at all, and like it doesn't make any sense in there. I just think like without that montage, it'd be perfect. But
I
with that
think what they
montage,
did was they try to fit a lot of story of them doing things together in the summer in a montage, like from the books,
yeah, and it's so weird because like
but it didn't adapt very
yeah,
well.
she feels
That part.
alone, and then he spent the after that montage, she gets even more sad when they like spent every day together, and so it's just like it just doesn't make any sense. It just like kills the momentum
Yeah.
too. Like it was terrible. So I would say like if you want to lower it, I'd be okay with that. But it's my favorite.
Oh no, it says
But
tier.
I'm saying like lower it in S tier. Obviously it's S
No.
tier. Okay,
It's good there. I love that movie.
it's so good.
I just know I don't love it as much as you, and I'm trying to think of what I like
Yeah,
more.
I've seen this one
But
like
I think I
14
know what I
times.
like more. It hasn't been put up there yet.
Okay, let's go. Ooh, this one.
Padma inverted. You seen
I'd say
this
it's
one?
the bottom of A. It's pretty entertaining. Yeah, yeah, I've seen it. I watched it
It's
with you actually.
yeah. I love the plot twist.
Hmm.
Just it just
The
gets you, you
world's
know.
so awesome.
Yeah, very interesting. The concept is so original.
Yeah.
The characters are pretty likable. The villain's pretty hateable. It's just solid. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. Like it's a very definitely like very underappreciated movie or how do you say it is?
It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. Like no one knows about it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like a
I'd say
tough
gold though,
movie
not a
to find.
diamond. Hey.
Yeah,
Yeah, not that many,
it's a
like no
movie
one's
that not
seen
a lot
it.
of people talk about.
The only reason I've seen it because I was literally with you when you started watching it. So
Oh, the first time I watched it.
no, you'd seen it before, but you like wanted to watch it again, and I sat down with you and watched it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's good.
So that's why I saw it. It's good though. I'd say it.
It deserves A
I mean,
tier.
it's not that deep. That's why I would say
Uh
it's
huh.
not any higher. It's just kind of like a little kid story, but I thought it was really good. So
Hey, don't be racist, right?
okay, yep. All right, this is Studio Ghibli. I don't
The
even know
Graves
what
of
this is.
Fireflies is not
Yeah, you want to tell a story about this one?
that's Studio Ghibli. So you want to do that one?
No, 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 this one.
Technically.
The
Okay.
Tales.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the legendary Hayao Miyazaki, um, his son was making a movie.
Wait, tell who Hayao Miyazaki is.
He is the father of Studio Ghibli, so he is just like the creator of all these amazing films. His son made his first film, and he went to the premiere himself to watch the movie and how it turned out. He walked out of the movie premiere and completely left the building, pulled out a cigarette, started smoking it, and said, "That movie was trash. I don't understand how my son could have made a terrible movie like that." That movie was Tales of Earthsea, right there.
Yeah, this was pretty terrible.
At first, I thought, man, Miyazaki is being an ass right now. He is so mean. And then I heard the movie that was premiering was Tales of Earthsea, and I was just like, ah, makes sense. It's a
It's
terrible movie.
I've seen it. It's just like for me, what it reminds me of is like what is that old movie in the library where he like
The
gets
Labyrinth?
no. Yeah, kind of like the labyrinth. It's like that one, just like the weirdest parts of the labyrinth, like the dragons
The
flying around and fighting. Like it starts out like, oh, it's about dragons, and then it's like never again. It's
No,
just
it's not about
so
dragons.
random.
It's so random and weird and makes no sense. It's such a
It
convoluted story.
Yeah, it's like somebody sketched out a movie, and then before they like went back and made a movie out of their sketches, somebody just animated it all and
This is
put
a
it in.
draft. This is a draft of
Yeah,
a movie that was made into a
with
movie.
like
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
a draft of multiple movies that are just like confused in the within the same world.
Seriously.
So
It's so
bad.
bad.
Okay,
Okay.
Ghost Shell, I've
Instead of
never seen
ripping
it.
into his son. You've never seen Ghost in the Shell?
Mm-mm.
It's A tier, man.
Woo.
It's A tier. Put it by Akira. There's be by Akira. It's just It's classic, but it's classic for a reason, man. Just such a it created a genre, and it makes sense. Just super interesting movie. Um, the concepts are very deep. The animation is super fluid to this day. It's a
Is it
great
a
movie.
mecha movie?
No, no, no. She is
Uh,
just an android.
okay.
There's a lot of robots, but it's very futuristic and like very dystopian as well. Um, incredible movie. Deserves A tier. It's been a long time since I've seen it, so I won't say any more, or else
Okay.
I'll
I'll have to
look like an
go
idiot.
watch this one then. I'm definitely gonna watch all the movies that we're putting the A and the S.
Uh huh.
Okay, this one is actually the
Same.
highest rated movie on Mal.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a 9 point
What?
something.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh man, it used to be on Crunchyroll, but then they took it off. Sword of the Stranger. Just a solid movie. It's solid like samurai movie. It just is super cool. The fights are amazing. The story is good. It's very enticing. Um, it's hard to look away. There's the little kid character. It gives me vibes. Have you seen
Sa
Dororo?
Samurai Jack?
Pretty much the one who's blind and his body is stolen by demons.
Oh, no, no, no.
Um,
Yeah, I've seen that one now.
it's similar because the main samurai guy is protecting like a kid and whatnot, and like the silent type. But it's just a super fun movie to watch. I would definitely put it in A tier. I would put
Okay.
it, man. I want to put it at the top of A tier, but man, yeah, put it right there. Perfect, perfection.
Cool. I I think we
It's
talked
like
about this in our last
it's,
video,
it's
but we both
no
don't
game,
really
no
like
life.
this show. It has
Yeah, the show we didn't like. The movie itself I liked more because it was not the show.
it's less
The main
interesting.
characters weren't the main characters. He wasn't a broken guy, like super talented guy for no reason. She wasn't his little sister. There was a weird relations with the main characters, but it's kind of like an origin story of the main
Of the world.
show. Yeah, of the world itself and how it came to be. Way more interesting. Way more interesting than um the show. Um, just kind of weird though, because the main love interest is a lolly and a robot
Of
girl
course. I
android
feel like I
thing.
don't know who wrote this, but they're obsessed with this stuff. So
Yeah,
weird.
they have a lot of weird kinks. Uh, but even then, it's still an incredible movie. I would put it B tier above, like the second tier, like the best ones, like high second tier.
Like this?
No, more. But yeah, right there.
I was like, don't put it above the Pokemon
No, no,
movie.
no.
Okay, this movie I also watched this week with
Oh
Emma
my
because
god.
we watched this one, Your Name, and then she wanted to watch another one, so we watched this one.
Man, you're on a sad,
This one's
tragic love
so
story
good.
freaking streak.
This one's
I
so
would put
good.
that movie right behind A Silent Voice.
Oh, me too. Good, I'm glad you agreed.
Perfect.
At first, I was like, I don't want to move it up there by myself, but I totally would put it here.
No, it's so good.
Yeah,
It is, man. I've seen it just twice now, but I've cried both times
yeah, this movie is
easily. Man, it is
fantastic.
so good and so sad.
A must
And I
watch.
showed it to my roommate, and he cried too. And it was, yeah, very, very easy to make him cry over movies like this.
It's so good though. It's
It was
honestly
very
so
good.
good.
Definitely an S tier movie.
Okay, this I really like this show. I'm gonna put it in B. I haven't seen these movies, so I don't know where to put it among these. It's better
Do you
than
like it more
this.
than the Pokemon movie?
No, yeah, I do.
Cool.
I do. Yeah, I think it was really good.
I need to
it's
watch it.
it's obviously dark. This because the whole theme is like this corrupted world, right? And so
Uh-huh.
it's pretty dark, pretty gory. But it was really good. I liked it a
What is
lot.
this one called? Made in Abyss
I don't even know the Made in Abyss movie.
something something dark
Deals, I guess
something.
the darkest thing it deals with is torture. There's a lot of torture in this one,
Oh yeah. I mean,
of
there's a
children.
little bit of that in the show.
Yeah, so it's pretty dark, but I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched it with Iceman.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. Um,
Let's see. Let's get rid of
is there Studio Ghibli's?
either the second movie or Grave of the Fireflies because they are not.
Grave of the Fireflies is not Studio Ghibli? No, it is.
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's not.
No,
Let me
this
see.
this one's not. This one is. Grave of the Fireflies, definitely Studio Ghibli.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Um,
Oh,
I don't know if this one is.
it's not.
Okay. I would put this one here. I think I like it a lot. It's like more documentary style. It's kind of like the history of Japan during the war and right after it got nuked. So it's very documentary wise, like of what life was like in Japan at that time, what they thought about the nukes dropping, what they thought about the war in general, what they thought about America. So it was very much like a documentary. So like most people would say it was really boring, but I thought like that was super interesting. So I liked it a lot. For me, it'd be
I
like at the top of B, but
Yeah, that one it's just pretty solid. It's sad and it's a good watch. I think it's like pretty important movie, like it has a really interesting topic to discuss and I think it should be watched. So like let me think. Out of all these movies, I would put it above like right behind Pokemon. Ooh, you're putting an A tier?
oh, what do you think? For me, it would
Hmm.
go like right here.
I think it's a good spot for it, honestly. I was thinking putting it
Cause,
higher, but
'Cause
that works.
it's obviously this world's not
Higher
cool
than
here, but
what I
like
said.
it's in story, I think it's better. It's like really powerful story.
Oh
It
yeah.
just 'cause based
It,
on reality.
yeah, it's almost like a documentary.
Hmm.
It's like powerful movie, very real, and I think it deserves points for being like super realistic
Yeah,
and like
it's
the
so
characters are
raw that it's
believable.
extremely slow 'cause it goes into like what cooking was like there, what cleaning was like there, what
Day to day
women,
life.
yeah, what marriage was like. So it just like it goes into so many things that's really slow, but like
Opens your
I always found all
honestly.
those things interesting, so I was trying to be.
Yeah, it honestly opens your eyes. Like if you don't know a lot about the time
The
in Japan,
the first
that's a
time I
good movie to
watched it,
watch.
I was so captivated, and I tried to rewatch it, and it was like kind of boring because like I already knew what it was gonna
Yeah,
say, so it's not really. It's pretty hard to
it's
rewatch,
not rewatchable. Yeah,
but it's so good the first time you watch it.
yeah. Same thing. I think Grave Fireflies would have the same issue. This
Yeah,
first watch through is like
a
where it
totally
really hits
different
you.
experience. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
All right.
almost left to Studio Ghibli.
All right. Let's go with the worst one.
Okay,
You haven't
you
seen this
you
one,
tell
I
me the
think.
worst one, and then I'll tell you the best one.
Okay. Okay. The third one. When Marnie was there. Trash.
It's that bad.
Trash. This movie is
Is it
so
his dad
bad.
or who was? This one his dad or his
I
son?
bet this is. I bet this is Hayao Miyazaki's other son. It's so bad. It was so confusing. It's like something about she meets this girl and her relationship with the girl is so strange. At first I thought she was like a lesbian in love with this girl, and it turns out the girl is like a long dead ancestor or something, and it's just so weird. I mean, that's like major spoilers, but no one's gonna need to watch this movie anyways. It's trash. It's so bad. I would say, yeah, it's like in the middle right there. I feel pretty harsh for having the Whisker movie in trash because some people might like it,
If you like cats.
but I hated it. I just hated it. I feel like I'm the only one who would hate it that much though. So I don't know.
I just realized that I don't have Spirited Away on the list.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Oh well.
this cat movie represents Spirited Away. This is the best Studio Ghibli movie
Oh
for
really?
sure.
You
Yeah,
think
it's
it's the
not even
best?
close. It's not even close. I
What?
literally this week I watched all these Studio Ghibli movies. Spirited Away was the best by far. Not even
No
close.
way.
Yeah, it was the
No
best.
way. No 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 way.
Yeah,
There's literally two movies I like more than that.
I want to say you say this one, but this one is like I would say the story is like not good. It's like a
What?
bit children. It's just like cool fights. And people like I like watched the story. I'm like, oh, maybe I can get into the story. I rewatched it, and I was like, bro, this story sucks.
Oh, I think it's great.
I think the animation of the fight is
Okay.
what takes this one on. But I think
Um,
as far as Studio
Spirited
Ghibli
Away.
goes, Spirited Away is the
Never would have
best.
guessed Spirited
That
Away
was
was your
the
favorite.
best one.
What? That just surprised me so much. I would have thought your favorite was either Howl's Moving Castle or As the Wind Rises because it has similarities to other ones that you really like. But man, Spirited Away your favorite? I
Yeah,
love Spirited Away, and it probably is an S tier,
I'd put it
but
like right here. Spirited Away.
all right, well, put my favorite up, right behind it because it deserves to be there. Yes, Princess Mononoke is just my favorite movie. It's the first Ghibli movie I've ever seen too. But that's not why it's my favorite. It's my favorite because I love Ashitaka. Ashitaka is such a cool main character. He's so badass. Did you remember the scene where he is fighting samurai on horsemen
And he shot the
and
guy's
on
arms off
horses?
with the arrow.
He no, that's like at the beginning of the movie.
Oh,
He does way more than that. He just like fights. Yeah, he's fighting these guys on the ground, and they're on horseback. They have bows and swords and stuff, and he takes off the arms of one guy. He catches the arrow of another samurai and shoots it back at him, taking his head off. And when he does that, he raises his hand, screams at the other two samurai coming at him. They literally turned around and run because he is a terrifying demon
so
and he's just
that's
a badass man. He's so cool.
that's why I said it's
He's
comparable to like this one because like I was watching it and I was like, man, these fight scenes are so awesome. This character's so awesome, like
yeah.
Cloud. But then like the story, every time we go to the story, I'm like, this story sucks. I was
Story's
like
a
the whole
little weird. Story's like kind of confusing, but to me it's not confusing. To me it's just like, oh, I've seen this movie so many times. I know exactly like what they're talking about, what's going on, kind of thing,
even the
and
girls,
why it's
her
going
fight
on.
scenes are super awesome.
Yeah,
The wolf girl.
it has incredible scenes. I the only thing I don't like about it is how hard it pushes the whole um green. I mean,
Oh, like
it's good, but
yeah,
like
like take care of nature, global warming.
yeah,
The
super
coal is the
super tree
bad
huggy.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, the
yeah,
ending.
man, take care of the environment,
Most
but
people don't like
it was
the ending of
really
this movie.
the ending of that movie is just kind of so abrupt and at the end, spoilers if you haven't seen it, it's a super old movie. He's like she's like, I love you, but I can't be with you because I have to be in the wilderness. And he's like, I totally understand. Have a nice day.
They just end.
And that's
You're
how
like,
they like part
what?
ways. It's like, what the freak?
She
I
just
thought they
like,
were gonna get together.
yeah.
And they don't. Yeah, because of that, it's not. I can see why it's not better. Spirited Away is just like solid. It has like everything.
Spill Away
But you
does
know,
not have a single point in the show where it's slow. Like the pacing is perfect.
that's true. It's so good. Man, I can imagine myself watching Spirited Away with someone though, and then being like, "Oh, that movie is just so weird and didn't like it," you know? Because I mean, I don't know. I mean, not to say it is, it's great, but I feel like it just goes over people's heads. You know how good it is and how like incredibly like captivating of a movie it is. I only say that because it's happened before where someone was like, "I really get it." Like, yeah, of course you didn't.
Yeah,
But
I could see people not getting it, but
yes, but I
like
totally get it.
out of all the Studio Ghibli movies, if you like watch all of them a lot, you'll end up thinking this is the best one. Just because pacing wise, It's just
Oh
like
yeah.
there's always something happening. There's always like a cool scenery. There's always a new creature like every scene.
Oh yeah. It's such an interesting world. The world is amazing. It's like a world building in Spirited Away is like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And then like it's also like from the perspective of child, so like it everything's even crazier. So it's just like
Everything's fantastical, you know.
yeah, so it's so good. That was my favorite for sure. Okay,
Okay.
now
What's the next worst
the next
Studio Ghibli movie?
worst Studio Ghibli movie,
Yeah.
Kiki's Delivery Service. This movie's so boring.
It's pretty
It's
boring.
so boring.
It's cute, but it's like
No,
boring, you
it's
know?
so boring. I thought it was so. Oh my goodness.
I agree with that.
Like
Yeah, 100%.
this is a movie that a 4-year-old girl will enjoy, and I think that's who it was written for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a little girl movie. It's like
Yeah.
some of the movies like Spirited Away you think are like, man, it's like geared towards kids, right? But then you watch it and you're like, no, it's
Okay,
definitely
as a
not.
kid, I watched this and it was terrifying. So I definitely like it more as like an adult.
Yeah, same. First impression, it seems like that, but it's definitely not. The when the parents turned into pigs in Spirited Away, that terrified me,
Yeah,
man. You have no idea. I was
yeah,
so
so
scared.
scary. That movie's so scary as a
Oh my
child.
gosh. But yeah, as an adult, it's like just fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Next
Us.
best Ghibli movie.
Okay. So people hype up Ghibli movies like they're the best thing ever, but I'm gonna be honest. I think there's a few good Ghibli movies, and the rest of them are just basic children movie. They could be great children movie. I don't know. I'm not a kid, but
There's
the like
two left
the
that are
lack
definitely
of
two
talking
kid
and the
movies.
lack of like anything but like noises. They're constantly making noises at each other like they're not talking, and that's like what kids like. They don't need
Mhm.
characters to talk, and so many Studio Ghibli movies do that. So, an example is this one. There's barely any talking. I thought it was the
It's
best
better, but
out
yeah,
of the kid movies though.
kid ones. Yeah, Back of B. I mean, Pokemon's a kid movie too, but it it's so much more interesting,
Yeah, dive
and
into
it deals with like death, like
yeah, this one the worst thing that happens is the girl gets lost and they fly to her. Like
yeah, it's definitely a kids movie. It's a movie I'd show my kids, even though I don't have any, but I will. Show it to my kids one day maybe.
yeah,
Um,
I
but
guess the only thing I
I
like
wouldn't show other
was
adults
why
this
I say
movie.
it's the most interesting is because like the dynamic of like the moms in the hospital and
Oh yeah, I
they have
forgot
to
about
like
that.
trust the
It's pretty
the
real.
the neighborhood to like raise them. So I think that
Yeah.
is like pretty interesting dynamic. A small
Uh huh.
town, but that's why I say it's the best of the kids movie. But out of all the kids movies, I think it's the
Yeah,
worst.
it's definitely very Japanese. Being like how important a community is to like
Hmm.
help raise the children. That's like very Japanese concepts and stuff. It's very good for like as an introduction to like Ghibli movies.
Yeah. If
Um,
I wanted somebody to watch a movie, this is the first one I want them to watch.
I'm gonna say this might be a hot take. I'm gonna say the next worst Ghibli movie is yes.
Uh,
Some people might think Ponyo, but at
Ponyo's
least
adorable.
Ponyo, yeah, at least Ponyo's
Ponyo's
adorable.
right here, right below
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this one.
Castle in the Sky, just man, I don't know if it's because it's just not as memorable to me. It's just like a lot goes on
I watched
and
it this week
and
and I forgot it.
I never know what's really going on or what. I don't remember who the bad people are. I don't remember what the goal is. I mean, obviously get to the castle of the sky, but is that even the goal? I don't even know. Yeah, it's meh.
Where did you put it beyond these? Because they're all
As the
pretty
Wind
bad,
Rises?
honestly.
No, I loved As the Wind Rises. I would put As the Wind
No, this
Rises.
one
Yes.
right here.
No, no, I would put that movie um right at the top of B tier.
Oh.
It's so good. The story's good. The main character's good. The his wife, their dynamic, their relationship, his legacy. Um,
I actually haven't seen these two movies.
it's
I just...
you haven't seen it. Okay, I really thought you thought it was a C tier movie, and I was, oh my gosh, I was about to be so upset.
No, I haven't seen these two actually.
It's super good. As the Wind Rises, oh man, yeah, it definitely deserves the top of B tier. But if there were any A tier Studio Ghibli movie, it would be Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind.
That is this one?
Um, this one, yes, this one is. It's almost a crime that you haven't watched it, man.
I don't. I was
It's
gonna.
one of the,
I was gonna put this one in
huh?
A, so I don't know where you want to put the other one. Because Grave of the Fireflies for me, the first time I
Mm.
watch it is so impactful, so I'd definitely put it as an A.
Yeah, I would put Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind right behind Final Fantasy. Honestly, I like it more than Wolf Children. I would put it between Wolf Children and Akira, but you would probably put. I would put Wolf Children. Yeah, maybe we just need to move Wolf Children.
You want like
Maybe
that, or do you want to switch
might
these, or
yeah. During the editing, you might like skip the part where we're messing around with like where which order they're in, kind of thing. You know,
I'm just gonna put it all of it
because
on here. I'm not gonna edit it. It took too long last
oh
time.
my gosh, you
Welcome.
barely edited anything last time.
Yeah, it took too long.
All right,
All
yeah,
right, so you're right here.
that's
Things
I
good.
like that. Yeah,
Okay, these are like the oldest two movies on the list, so that's crazy. They're right next to each other.
yeah. I mean, it's one of the first Ghibli movies, and it really
It's the
set the
reason why they
tone
had
for
enough
them
money
being.
to make more
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, they're just so good, and it's just a good movie. Like, it's a little weird at times, but the soundtrack is so good. The movie's great. The story's good. The world is interesting. The main girl is like very cool. She definitely has like Ashitaka vibes, you know. Um, it seems like Ashitaka was inspired by her, you know. She's
Mhm.
just such a like a go-getter kind of character. Good movie, A tier. In the middle seems really good.
Okay, gonna have to watch that one for sure.
All right, so where would you put House
Okay,
Moving Castle?
me?
Yeah.
I did not like this movie.
Oh my
I think it should be
gosh.
behind these two. I definitely like these two movies better.
What?
This movie is
Okay, why?
uh it was just really like the life of an old woman. That's so lame. I'd rather see the
What?
life
It's
of a
not even
fish.
about that. It's about a cursed girl who was
Yeah,
turned into an old woman.
that falls in love with like a sorcerer,
Yeah,
right?
because she fell in love with him. She met him before she was cursed, and he was very charming. She kind of liked him. But then she thought, there's no way I would ever have a chance with someone like him. He's incredible. And then she gets cursed and bumps into him again. But he knows she's cursed. He knows that um she's not who she seems. And it's not just about her being an old lady, you know? It's like I feel like there's things that you can miss very easily watching this movie, like the way he pretty much knows her the entire movie, but kind of like acts like he
He
very
doesn't know.
nonchalant about it. Huh?
Yeah, I didn't like this movie. Now,
Yeah.
I did rewatch it right before, right after Spirited Away, which is my favorite one. So just like I was like, oh, this movie is so much worse than Spirited Away. So I was just watching. I was like, this
Oh my
pacing is
gosh.
so bad and like it's so random. Like uh, the prince like falls in love with her. And I'm actually a scarecrow. And then he's like, okay, well, I see you're ready to take goodbye. And he like leaves the
Yeah,
envelope.
okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Like what?
That's so true. It's hilarious. It's because the ending is so rushed because it's adapted from a book. And so they wanted to fill everything in at the end, and it's super rushed in the end. That's like one of the few flaws I think that movie
I think
has.
also like
I would put it
they like
top of B tier.
when he walks out of the when she walks out of the what is that place called? Or
The
like the
castle?
house, the castle, yeah. And there's like a bunch of bad guys or whatever, these giant monsters. She just like wipes it with her broom a little bit, then walks back inside. You're just like, what?
Yeah,
It's just like
it's
it's so
hilarious.
weird.
She
Okay.
don't care. She don't give a crap, man.
Oh yeah. For
Okay,
me,
I feel
I
like
like
we need some rearranging.
these two more.
I would put House Moving Castle personally. I don't know where you want to put it.
You put it
Right
here?
at the top of B.
You think it's better than this
Yeah,
one?
I really
No way. No way.
I mean, I feel like it's a crime to say House
I,
Moving Castle is not
people,
amazing.
yeah, people hype this
People
movie up
love it.
so much, but it's not nearly as good.
It's not the best.
I
It's
feel
not the
like
best one.
I feel
I'll
like the
yeah,
people
right
that
there should be
don't
number.
understand Spirited Away like this movie.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
you like watch and like Spirited Away, then like you get what Studio Ghibli's all about.
Okay, I think you should put My Neighbor, and Ponyo at the top of C tier.
I wouldn't disagree. I'm glad
Okay,
that
because C tier needs more love.
that means this one would have to go down,
Oof,
but it's so good. Can Wolf
but it's
Children
so
fall?
good. Wolf Children. Put Wolf Children at the top of B. I don't. I wouldn't say I like it more than a lot of those movies. Yeah. Hmm.
How do we like this list? Okay, my favorite movie, so I'm glad it's the top of us. This
Oh
one's
yeah.
definitely a close second. These are classics. I like your
You
name.
should put.
I know you don't like your name as much as me.
Uh
I
huh.
definitely like your name, like
Oh, I
where it
love Your
is.
Name.
You gave
I
it a
would
you
put.
gave it a 9 out of 10 on Mal, and I was like, oh, what?
I mean, only because of the booby scenes,
Emma thought that was
which are,
hilarious.
which are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just gets like the joke was like beating a dead horse, like
It's so funny though.
oh man.
It just makes it perfect for the last one when he's crying. It's so funny.
Okay, what yeah, that is funny at the end. I would put Jujutsu Kaisen right behind Demon Slayer.
You
When
gotta
you
put him
watch
side to
it,
side, right?
you might put it ahead,
I probably
but
will, just because I like it more than Demon Slayer. Because
okay, okay.
I like the modern world more than.
But this is yeah, okay. That's true. You've never met this character, but you're going to love him by the end of the show. And it does have an after credit scene which I thought was so interesting.
Oh, you actually stayed and looked?
Yeah, we weren't planning on it. I'm like, I doubt it. But then we just kind of like sat there and talked. And then after credit scene came. It wasn't like after all the credits, but it was after the beginning credits.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it
See,
wasn't that long into it.
yeah.
The credits
Okay.
when it popped up
Okay.
and we're like,
I'm definitely
ooh.
gonna go watch that
So
on
yeah, you should
Tuesday.
stay for after the credits. It's only in theaters. I think
Like two
it might
weeks.
not be in theaters tomorrow, but
Oh shoot.
yeah, you should have watched it like last week.
Okay. I'll leave it there for now. Um,
Yeah.
I'll let the hype go. I hate seeing this picture here, but it's Spirited Away, so I think it deserves
Yeah,
to
I
be in this
know.
spot.
I can't believe we forgot to put it on the list. That's so sad.
And then there is so Studio Ghibli, our top two fighting each other at S tier.
I know.
Um, also, I just really like the ending of it because it's so like she just walks out and she's uh like she acts like she doesn't tell her mom and dad anything. She just goes, "Let's go." You're just like,
Yeah, it's like almost like the whole movie didn't happen, but you could tell,
yeah,
she's different. She's definitely different from
uh-huh.
she's like kind of changed and grown. Definitely a coming of age story. Sure, it just fits in that category perfectly. But no, yeah, it's just a super satisfying movie to watch, and when it's over, I think everyone has a big
Yeah,
smile on
I
their
think
face, because it's a
satisfied
good
is
movie.
definitely the best word. When it's over,
Hmm.
that's what you feel.
Yeah, yeah, it's like not all these movies have a really satisfying ending. There are a lot of examples of like kind of crappy endings, like 5 centimeters per second. Um,
So bad.
Howl's Moving Castle, even. Uh, Honestly, the ending of Akira is epic, but kind of tragic, you know.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
ending
like
was super weird, I think, but okay.
all these are good. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's
Yeah, it's pretty late
freaking
already.
late.
Yeah, I think this is a solid list. I think the okay.
This,
Um,
huh?
this one should go here.
Sure.
Action packed shows. Okay. This story trash, but just the fighting is probably like the most entertaining fighting ever. So, okay,
Incredible list.
this is amazing. All right, that's our anime movie list.